Holy smokes, folks. This new breaking update is set to affect over 42 million people. 42 million Americans are about to have their food supplies temporarily, if not permanently, cut off from a few select food sources and food groups. Some very, very important information here and updates that I need to bring you guys after having done some research and also coming across a comment that was on a recent video that says if you are on food stamps in Iowa, you will no longer be able to buy meat. Now, we need to go into this. As it says here, according to Business Insider, that Iowa Republicans want to ban SNAP recipients from buying meat, white bread, and American cheese. Now, these are basic staples, folks. And you add this on top of the increased prices and costs of other food necessities and pantry staples in the middle of this inflationary period, this time of recession and tough economic challenges when it comes to jobs, maintaining employment and income while challenging higher prices of basic costs pretty much across the board. And this, again, last year I brought you guys numerous videos about the future of food shortages. And I told you guys that the biggest problem we were going to have with food shortages in the future were going to be the pricing and availability. And this proposed bill by Iowa Republicans is just that. It's an attack on pricing and availability for those who are on these benefits. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to let you guys know that now would probably be a better time than ever to make sure that you are really focusing on increasing your income and building wealth and ultimately getting off of any government aid or government stimulus or government allotment, EBT, food stamps, any of these social security programs, SSA, SSI, SSDI, if possible, before it's too late, before they propose a bill and it gets passed that basically cuts off your benefits, putting you and your family in a precarious situation, unable to buy food and unable to afford the necessities you need for maintaining a normal quality of life, or more than likely a subpar quality of life, because the benefits that they provide are really not that great. And folks, if you are concerned about the economic storm and how your IRA and 401k will fare during these turbulent times, top experts are predicting now is the time to protect your assets. Folks, this is very important. I hope you guys are listening. Now is the time to be protecting your assets with physical gold and silver. Find out why Genesis Gold Group is the #1 recommended company by your favorite preppers and homestead channels, and receive your free Genesis Gold Group free definitive gold guide today. Or just give the good folks at Genesis Gold Group a call at 1-800-200-GOLD. That's 1-800-4653, or check them out online at www.genesisgoldgroup.com. Now, it says here that Iowa Republicans proposed a bill that would drastically limit what food stamps recipients can buy. Now, this is a big deal. And I will ask you guys, if you are on food stamps, EBT, or any other government stimulus package or government subsidized income or fixed income, albeit low income, comment down below and let me know. And it says here that people wouldn't be able to buy grocery staples like white bread, American cheese, fresh meat, and more. The list actually goes on, and critics argue that the bill would further burden low-income people who are already food insecure. These programs honestly are designed to fail. They're designed for failure, and people who rely on these 100%, again, the benefits and the amount that they provide is extremely low. So it already produces or requires people to live a extremely modest lifestyle, to put it lightly, and there's really no incentive to get off the program. So folks, this is not a pitch. I'm only here to help. I'm only here to inform. But if anybody is interested in figuring out ways to increase their income, please let me know. And it says here that Iowa Republicans are proposing sweeping changes to the state's food assistance program, including banning beneficiaries from buying grocery staples like meat, American cheese, or flour. Now, a bill co-sponsored by 39 Republican state legislators would limit those getting Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP, benefits to buying food on a more restrictive list from a separate program intended for pregnant women and children. And SNAP recipients wouldn't be able to buy a variety of foods, including white grain bread, buns with added nuts or seeds, white rice, pasta sauce, canned fruits or soups, baked beans, cheese slices, butter, or flour. And I don't know if this is just a cost savings measure or if this is some form of retaliation against some people abusing the program. Now, it says here that they would instead be limited to foods approved for the Women, Infants, and Children WIC program. The foods the foods people can purchase in the WIC program are much more restrictive than those allowed in SNAP. And that's because WIC is designed to complement SNAP and is meant to provide necessary nutrition specifically for, as the name suggests, pregnant women, new mothers, and infants. And this is according to Michelle Book, the president and CEO of Food Bank of Iowa. Comment down below if I got any Iowa residents watching. WIC is not designed for people that rely on SNAP benefits to make ends meet, is what Book told Business Insider. And Book said that the proposed changes would put an additional burden on people that are food insecure and are part of an ongoing push by state legislators to cut back on benefits. It comes down to the money, folks, the dollars and cents, green. Right now, dollars, maybe in the future, digital dollars and CBDC, but we'll save that for another video. Now, it says here that Book said that year after year, the legislature wants to tear down SNAP benefits for the state of Iowa. So this isn't new to us. So this is a normal occurrence, but SNAP is not a state program. SNAP is a government funded program. So this is going to be nationwide, in my opinion. But she said this bill is one of the most egregious attempts we've seen over the last many years. So there is definitely a force out there attacking the program. And folks, this should be a clear warning sign to so many out there that now is the time to take action and prepare so you and your family are not caught off guard and unable to buy food, especially the foods that are going to be excluded from this program. It says the Des Moines Area Religious Council and Interfaith Organization also slammed the bill as a punitive policy that will do nothing to improve the health and nutrition of Iowans, but rather be a detriment to these families. And the bill would provide $1 million for the state's Double Up Food Bucks program, but would reduce the number of people who qualify for SNAP benefits and also force those who are part of the state's Medicaid expansion to work at least 20 hours a week. The Iowa Republicans say the money spent on SNAP could be used more efficiently elsewhere, probably sending it to Ukraine. Now, it's the entitlement programs, said Iowa House Speaker Pat Grassley, who is a co-sponsor on the bill, according to local outlet KCCI. They're the ones that are growing within the budget and are putting pressure on us being able to fund other priorities. Now, I would love to know what these other priorities are that include the U.S. citizens, specifically those who are struggling to make ends meet. And the bill is currently being reviewed by the state legislature's Health and Human Services Committee. So folks, this is amazing because nationally, SNAP provides help to more than 42 million people each year. And this is according to Hunger and Health .feedingamerica.org. And so, like I said, if any of you guys out there watching are on these SSI, SSA, SSDI, Social Security, retirement, if you're on a fixed income, low income, and you're relying on government assistance and government stimulus checks and allotments and like P-EBT and food stamps and WIC, please comment down below and let me know. This honestly is a clear warning sign of an imminent danger of the potential likelihood of the future of these programs maintaining their funding while having a huge amount of legislation and other lawmakers and politicians pushing against it to take those funds and distribute them somewhere elsewhere in a way that could possibly benefit them more directly, or perhaps some of their causes more directly. Again, we're sending over $100 billion to Ukraine to support their fundraising, their war fundraising campaign, their war fundraising campaign. Meanwhile, Zelensky and his wife are taking shopping sprees in Paris. So you can see where our politicians and lawmakers' priorities are. And I don't know if this current administration really even gives a shit about the people who are suffering, who can't afford to really feed themselves, feed their families, fill their pantries, stockpile, and prepare for, you know, what could possibly happen tomorrow and make ends meet while prices continue to rise, jobs continue to be cut, layoffs continue to be announced, hiring freezes are on the list as well, and we are in a recession with a housing market crash, an automotive industry crash, a stock market crash. I'm not quite sure how many other catastrophes could happen. It's almost like I'm expecting to see Godzilla rise up out of the Gulf of Mexico here, right here on the beach of Destin, Florida. But, you know, honestly, if that happened, it wouldn't even surprise me at this point. Like I said, folks, now is the time. If you haven't already, please take action. Make more money, spend less than you make, budget wisely, eliminate debt, high interest revolving credit card debt, and start saving and investing. The only way that, in my opinion, my 2023 prediction, the only way that folks that are relying, that are already behind the eight ball, that are backed into this corner, painted into this corner, stuck between a rock and a hard place, low income, fixed income, possibly retired, nearing retirement, hoping for retirement, that rely on government aid and government funding and government stimulus programs and government checks, and supplemental income from the government, the only way to actually survive is going to be for you to take control of your income, for you to take control of your finances, for you to take control of your budget, and you to take control of your debt. The interest rate is on the rise. The interest rates are going to continue to rise at least until sometime in 2024, according to very, very smart economists that are in tune with the market and the Fed and Jerome Powell's push. Not to mention, we don't know what lies around the corner, which odds are will probably be some form of global conflict, pushed perhaps maybe by the WEF and the folks in Davos, Switzerland, the uber elites making decisions for us all about the health, safety, and well-being for us. Not to mention, folks, I don't know if you guys saw it, but the WEF wants to charge people a membership to have access to the craziness that they're planning and plotting out over there. But that's another story. Simple fact of the matter is, there's no way that I would rely on and leave my trust within a government entity to manage the funds to provide for my family to survive when they themselves can't even accomplish that simple task right now with the challenges that they face with hitting the debt ceiling, unable to repay the loans to themselves, interest-only loans or interest-only payments at that. So we have to know and realize, we got to read between the lines and pay attention to the warning signs that are out there. For the simple fact of the matter is that they are out for blood. They're coming to get your money. They want people to starve. And these programs just literally have no reasonable, feasible viability for future sustainability, as they are literally writing checks that their butt can't cash. And I'm not going to say that we're on the brink of an economic collapse, but I do feel as though that there are going to be some social economic demographics, zip codes, neighborhoods, groups of people that are going to feel the pain worse than others in this economic collapse at home. Jerome Powell said it. He said there's going to be pain felt within families. Businesses are going to feel pain. He's looking to soften the economy and shrink the balance sheet. And like I told you guys before, the middle class is going to be no more. There will be the lower class, the living paycheck to paycheck, you know, one paycheck away from being broke and being evicted and out on the street and hungry with nowhere to live. And then there's going to be the extremely wealthy high earners. But even still, the extremely wealthy isn't necessarily just the high earners, because some high earners are in these situations, in these unique predicaments, because they are not following the most important rules of spending less than they make and budgeting and eliminating debt so that they can save and invest. I want you guys not to feel the brunt of this pain that is barreling down this hill as we're all standing here at the bottom waiting for it to hit us in the face, and really take action And if you got questions and you want to know how to do it, what to do, how do I get started, getting started for a beginner, please reach out and let me know. I want to help you guys. I've got a variety of resources and a lot of them are free. You can pay to join the network, perfectly fine. You can contact me directly at any time, but at the same time, I have a ton of free information, free links, and free services that are available as long as people out there are willing to take action and get started and get their butt in gear, because the sooner you start, the better. The longer you wait, the worse off it's gonna be. And in my opinion, and you guys can look back on my previous videos over the last 11 months, because we're almost coming up on a 1-year anniversary for the channel. You can look back and see just everything that I've been talking about and everything that has been happening since then. I feel as though we're on track for what is coming. And if anybody wants to take advantage of what I feel as though is probably my strongest strength right now, with the ability to produce income literally almost like instantaneously, almost, with very low effort, very low energy, and most importantly, very low money needed to get started, if any. I've got a link in the description specifically for video, specifically for a separate channel that I have that I can share this information with you guys if you guys want to get started. Please feel free to check that out, as well as I am working on putting together a video specifically on how much YouTube is paying preppers and prepper channels, and how much YouTube paid last year, 2022, just so you guys can get an idea of how much you can earn, but not just how much they paid, because everybody's making videos about how much YouTube paid me in 2022. I'm gonna break it down, and I think I'm up to like a 23-step list of everything that I wish I had when I started a little under a year ago, to get to this point today and being able to produce this kind of income literally on the side by making YouTube videos. Like, if I can do it, anybody can do it. You guys take care, be safe. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.